In the 7th chapter of Jeremiah, God asked, "Has this house become a den of robbers?" Welcome to one of our vlogs from St. Mark's Episcopal in Dalton, Georgia, and welcome to those from Facebook and YouTube. Join us today. This morning at St. Mark's in the lectionary reading of the Gospels, we had the story of Jesus going to the temple. After Jesus enters Jerusalem, he goes to the temple, and everybody knows what happens there. He drives out the people who buy and selling and exchanging money. He turns over the tables in some of the stories, and it's a very familiar story, and we all know the story. We all understand why Jesus became angry at these people who were misusing God's temple. In Mark 11, it says that Jesus says, "My house shall be called a house of prayer for all nations, but you have made it a den of robbers." Okay, now Jesus condemns the actions of the people in there. Well, this week I was reading an article by a writer named Herb Montgomery. And Herb Montgomery actually makes a point that I'd never considered. I'd read this story many, many times and thought I knew it. He points out something that I had always kind of missed, because he says that Jesus says, "You have made it a den of robbers." And Montgomery points out that a den of robbers is not where the thievery takes place. It's where the robbers retreat after they've stolen, thinking they're safe. So the den of robbers is not where the crime takes place, but where the robbers think they're safe. Well, Jesus doesn't just see what the people are doing in the temple, saying with that. Jesus knows their hearts. Jesus knows that these people are people of power who mistreat and oppress and literally rob the people who have less power away from the temple. That's what they're doing. That's why he's aware of this. Then they retreat to the temple as if they are pious and if they are in good standing with God. So Jesus not only calls them out for their actions in the temple, but Jesus identifies their robbing and their actions away from the temple. Okay, and then Jesus, knowing their hearts, and Jesus knowing their thoughts and everything, condemns their piety and hypocrisy in hiding in the temple, making God's temple a den of robbers. This is a message for our current churchgoers. Jesus not only knows our actions, but Jesus knows our thoughts. Jesus knows our hearts. Jesus knows our pride. He knows our piety. He knows our hatred. He knows our prejudice. He knows our selfishness. Now, sinners should be in church, but no one should be going to church to pretend that they are in good standing with God. Church is for sinners, but it's for sinners to change and to reconcile with God, to change not just their actions, but their hearts. And therefore we should say, thanks be to God.